Today is the day that ends in Y, so Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is pushing a crazy socialist scheme that would waste billions in taxpayer money. But this one actually could become a reality thanks to President Biden. Here's why and why you should care. But first, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, click subscribe, click that bell button so you get notifications. I don't trust the algorithm gods to actually show you my content. And if you're a regular, click that like button, drop a comment, let me know what you think. I appreciate it. Now, let's talk AOC. Protecting the environment is a goal we should all support, but AOC's plan would cost $10 billion from taxpayers like you and me. That's a lot of money. And to understand just how much it is, well, this is what $1 billion looks like. In $100 bills stacked next to an average person. Imagine that much money times 10, and then you'll know how much AOC wants to spend on her Climate Corp. So if we're spending all that money, what exactly would it go for? Well, AOC wrote legislation to create the Climate Corp with Senator Ed Markey. And what they say is that this would be a diverse and equitable group of 1.5 million Americans completing federally funded projects that help communities respond to climate change and transition to a clean economy. Sounds like a sweet gig. The jobs will reportedly pay $15 an hour, have health care and free child care benefits, all courtesy of me and you, of course. Now, it wouldn't be an AOC plan if it didn't get woke, and the plan explicitly calls for anti-racist language and for a bunch of the money to go to environmental justice. But let's be clear, AOC and her progressive pals are pitching this as a job-creating stimulus initiative. But it wouldn't on net create a single job at all. Why? Well, every dollar the government spends has to come from somewhere else in the economy. The same dollar taken away in taxes or debt, well, that dollar would have been spent or invested in the private economy somewhere, creating a job there instead. So we don't have jobs created through the so-called civilian Climate Corp. We have them shuffled around, away from the private sector where they would have been allocated by market demand and instead subjected to the whims of woke politicians and progressive environmentalists. Which kind of job do you think is going to be more efficient? Anyway, the true solution to improving the environment is economic progress, not big government. It's been consistently shown that as societies get richer, environmental quality improves. So expensive and failed socialist schemes don't just waste money, they actually sabotage environmental progress. For an example of just how well the federal government's so-called green investments usually go, just remember the $515 million loan guarantee the Obama administration gave to Solyndra, a renewable energy company that quickly went bankrupt. I'd be willing to bet that that's the kind of success story we'd see a lot more of under AOC's Climate Corp. But unlike so much of what AOC pushes, this plan could actually become reality, because President Biden has included it in his so-called infrastructure package. President Biden ran for office as a moderate, but on some issues, he's governing like a radical progressive indistinguishable from AOC. That's good news for government bureaucrats, but it's bad news for taxpayers like you and me.